So I just celebrated my third year of running Ascennial, and I wanted to record a video of the three big lessons I learned in year three. This year was pretty rough. I almost shut down the business. I felt like shit a lot of times. So hopefully these lessons have a more emotional standpoint or a little more vulnerable, and you can kind of pull the business learnings from within them. So the first one is compartmentalization is bullshit. Basically, this idea that what you do in your work doesn't start to affect the rest of your family, friends, and health is a farce because I recognize that Ascennial is its own business asset and legally and technically it is separate from me. And that is super important and leads to some of my other learnings. However, when I was running it day to day, emotionally, it was not separate. It was affecting my mood and everything else. And I, became very scared because I looked at it like, oh, well, I have to do this. I'm going to have to just learn to compartmentalize more and just compartmentalize even further and just 9 to 5, make that my separate mindset. And oh my God, what a bunch of bullshit. All that did was make me super unhappy. And so recognizing that and understanding that is what allowed me to move to point two, which was letting go actually means genuinely accepting the outcome of failure or potential failure. So for me, that meant bringing on a business partnership and completely stepping out of operations of the company, which is extremely high risk. That meant being okay with the company potentially failing because that was a better outcome than me trying to compartmentalize and being miserable with the day-to-day operations. So I recognized that I was going to be basically risking all of my financial future, but it's was awesome at the same time. It felt so freeing to really be okay with that because I knew that that outcome at least didn't result in me doing things I was miserable doing from day to day. And since then, my business partner has been fucking crushing it. And the company is literally the highest revenue it's ever been. So shout out Lisa Travis, my business partner. And I'm happy. I get to focus on marketing or advising or deal structures and just in general doing things that are way more satisfying. And I have so much more free time and my fitness has gone through the roof. My music creativity has gone through the roof. My life has improved so much. And I really don't like to think it's because the business is doing well now. I really believe what it was letting go and just being like, hey, if the shit fails, at least I'm living in alignment with myself and being myself and not trying to put my fingers in my ears and plow ahead doing things that don't bring me satisfaction. And then that brings me to point three, which is celebrate your wins. I'm so bad at celebrating my wins. I would get a contract deal and be like, oh, it's only 3 months, not 12. Or, oh, it's 12 months, but they're only paying us this. Or, oh, man, they're probably going to, it's probably going to be awful working with them. Or just in general, not always negative, but just kind of even on to the next thing. Even oh, cool. All right, let me go build out this new web page. But instead, it's yo, let's pump the brakes and pop a bottle of champagne, light up a blunt, go freaking adventure into the ocean. I don't know, go do some shit and intentionally celebrate rather than having debauchery to relieve stress, having debauchery to celebrate a win as a less of a reward, but more of a recognition of an achievement. And I feel like that's something I'm going to be pulling with me for hopefully indefinitely because looking at life as opportunities to celebrate and recognizing when hard work does pay off is so much better than just trying to be kind of fruitlessly ambitious and moving on to the next thing. So yeah, that's really it. So compartmentalization is bullshit. Even though the business is an asset, it can still affect you. Letting go is acceptance of failure. And in my case, it was bringing in a business partner, which was very high risk, but luckily turned out awesome. And then celebrating your wins. Pop a bottle of champagne when you catch that next deal. Slow down and have a little fun and recognize how far you've come and what you've accomplished. And yeah, that's a wrap. My arm is about to fall off. This microphone is super heavy. And so that's it for year three, and catch you on the flip side.